Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our webinar this afternoon. I'll just give a couple of minutes there for people to log in. And I just want to apologise that our Design and Crafts Council website seems to have been down this weekend. There's something gone wrong with it. So they're working on it today to try and get it up and running. So I hope you were all able to log in okay. And I'm sure we'll have it rectified later on this evening, hopefully. But just to let you know that there's a Q&A bar and a chat bar that you can click on. So if you have any questions at all, you can type them in there. I'd say most of you were probably on the part 1 of this webinar, which was the other day. And today is part 2 of editing video on your smartphone. So I'll hand you over there now to Aidan Geraghty, who's going to continue on with that webinar this afternoon. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mary.
Okay.
Afternoon, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. So we still have a number of people coming in there, so we'll hang for just another minute and we're going to kick off then. So this is part 2. Hope you got a lot of value from the first day. I know there was a lot of repetition, there was a lot we were going through to get the cutting and the project brought in. But today we're going to go through a few things where we have intros and outros to kind of soup up the video so that it's ready for when you export. So I am, okay, I'm going to get into it now. Anybody that wants to join in after, we'll see them. So we'll kick off just the last day, as I said, we went through aspect ratios, deciding what way to set up the project for what shape, and then cutting it up, and then adding B-rolls and taking freeze frames. So today we're going to look at advanced editing, which will be intros and outros, so putting in call to actions and some branding. Animated effects, so we'll look at some effects that can help develop the look and feel of it. The exporting for publishing, that's the main thing, is getting it exported correctly. And then adding in subtitles, we'll touch on it. It's restricted for your mobile, but I really want to look at frames in Canva. I'd like to show you that there's great potential there that you can use in Canva to add on some extra graphics. It's what I do for my own videos sometimes now, and it's fantastic, and it's very easy to do. So I'm going to mirror my screen again. Sorry, I'm going to mirror my screen, and I will ask you then to just stay tuned on it, and then afterwards you can have a look at the app after that. But has anybody, just to put it out in the chat, has anybody downloaded the app or just doing a bit of homework on it or pawed around with it in some degree? Just from Sue there, just I'll answer a question or two. Sue, you're just saying what type of storage should we get to store the videos? Well, it's just in your iPhone folder, you know, it's in your iPhone video area. But if you want to use Dropbox to upload them and get them maybe away from a Dropbox account with an app, and then load up some of the footage there so you can hide it there when you're not using it. Valerie, you've got it downloaded. Lisa. Consult the notes. There is a lot in it, but you know, it's bit by bit that you get there. You're not looking to do anything fancy. You're looking to be able to put cuts together so that you can have a lot more information in a smaller amount of time. And it looks a lot slicker, you know. So I will kick off now. Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you there? Just your sound just seems to be going in and out there.
Oh.
On your thing. That's fine at the moment, but it keeps kind of going every few minutes. So
is that any better there now?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks.
I'm going to come closer to it. My head's going to be in the camera, but the fan is on the computer at the moment, so maybe that's drowning it out.
Yeah, no, that's grand. That's perfect there now.
Cool. So now I'm going to mirror the screen and with me. Okay. Right. It's a handy little app. Okay, great. Now we're going to go into KineMaster again. And we're going to go out to a project that we were working on the last day. It's just an example project. The actual project doesn't really matter. It's just a project to show you the functions that we want to get through today. So the first thing we're going to look at when we open it up is the intros and outros. So first of all, the project, when you work on a project and if you leave the app in the middle of it, it automatically stores. So you can then come in, open it up, and again, just playing that. And by the way, if it looks choppy, it's just because of the fact that it's playing through my phone to the screen and the laptop to the Zoom. So bear with that. Okay, so then we got to a part there where there was an interview and we showed that was the B-roll. So that was a very nice touch there on that. And now it is nice to close off a video with a nice outro. And the outro could be something like where you want people to go to a certain destination, the website, or if you want people to just see the logo coming up. And at the beginning, then it's very good to have your logo as an intro. So we'll start with the intro. So we're looking at layers, and coming to layers, we need to get the media first of all. And we're going to put the logo on the white background. So we have the showcase logo and we get a white background for it, and then we get the logo to put on top of that, and then the video will play. So first of all, we need a white background, and so the white background, and then we're going to get the logo, which is stored in the showcase folder. Always good to have your content stored away in a good area before you start your edit, you know. So make a folder within your camera, just an album, drop everything in there that you've shot on your phone, and then if you have a logo, get your logo from your computer onto your phone and store it in a folder, and you'll be able to refer back to it there. So in this case, we'll get the Showcase Ireland logo. No, I don't like that one. That was the wrong one to get. This one here, I think, was the one that was going to work. Now bear with me because I just robbed this off the internet, so I'm gonna have to see if it works. No. Okay, so the problem here is that I should have, I'm gonna start it again. So the white canvas should come up on the main timeline. I think I put that down beneath it. So we're adding in a media, we're not adding in a layer. We're adding in media, and we're putting in a white canvas. Hopefully this will do the job. And then on top of that, we put the logo. So rather than the canvas going on top of the logo, it will be the logo on top of the canvas. So just make sure you get part one, which is just the canvas. And then on top, we will put the logo. So we go to media again, and we go to the showcase folder, and we'll see if we have any luck this time. I'll drag in the two of them. Sorry, I'm not with it today. I wasn't drinking at the weekend. So if we go to showcase and we get the logo, here we go. So the logo is now on top. So just remember that if you need a PNG of your logo. So just remember that. So a PNG version of your logo. A PNG is a see-through version really with no background on your logo when you get that from a graphic designer. So you should get a couple of different versions. This is a nice little intro, which can come back here. You need to stretch it back. And then you need to come back here. And in order for you to get it exactly at the back, you need to kind of stretch out your thing with your fingers. You know, you need to stretch out the timeline, and that gives you a more close detail to work on. So at the moment, when it plays, this comes up, right? First of all, you want to shorten it. And I know from my own experience, and you'll notice that you want to just go, right, I want to claw it back to about there. I'm going to press play. And then we're going to kick into the video. Now, to get a nice effect at the beginning, it'd be nice if we can just add a little animation effect. So at the moment, the logo is, you know, in a certain, I guess, size, or it's in a certain, you know, a certain dimension, but there's nothing really happening in it, if that makes sense. So it would be nice to have, there's an array of different effects that you can have, but it would be very nice to have a in animation. And you would have maybe a fade in or a pop-up, can you see that? Or a slide, maybe in here, in here. Now I would think that that's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. So you need something a bit more classy. And if I was doing it, I would do something like that, where you've got a kind of a nice effect, you know, it's not too much. Or you can have the fade. Now I will, in this case, go with the fade. I think it's a nice little effect there, and that. So you can see that. So I like that. We can then decide to move into the footage, and it comes in like that. Okay, so we've got different, you know, what we can do here is that we can have it directly going in to the video, just like this, or we can have like a little transition on the way into the video. So the transition is here in between, and that can then decide how you'd like it to flow from the white canvas into the video. But I don't recommend like a transition effect in this. I want to show you anyway. Let's say classic, and that could be crossfade. Now the problem is you're going to have the logo as well at the bottom. So look at this here. So it's not really what I would recommend, because you're going to have to apply the same transition to your logo, and it just gets a bit messy because you're trying to coincide the canvas length with that. So it's up to you, right? So there's an array of effects that you can do at the beginning, but I would do it quite simple. So to rehash in that, you get a canvas, which is from your media in here. Then you would come back and you go, right, I have my canvas. Then you want to get your logo. You know, stick your logo on top. Then you've got your logo. And the main thing to work with then is the effect of your logo. So all of these different things here can affect it, but really it's the in animation. And then there is the out animation. But I would just go with an in animation and press play.
Aidan, can I just stop you there while you're on that? There's just a couple of things in there. In media, there's a folder called background. Can you just show where that is again? Oh yes, you click into media.
So the background, so you come up to media, and so instead of maybe adding in something from your album, you instead want to go up and you want to go to background. And there's a big set of backgrounds up here, everything from something fancy to, you know, something like this, which is not necessary for something of the normal videos, but you can explore it if you want. But it is a kind of a funny one, all right, to get where it's stored. But yes, it's in media because it is a type of media that's in stock footage.
Yeah, Lisa's saying she's not seeing the background folder.
You're not seeing the background folder. So when you press media, is it not in there?
Can you see it now, Lisa?
Sorry?
I'm just asking Lisa, can you see it now?
It should be in there.
Oh, there's a few people saying they're not seeing it, Aidan. I can see it.
Are you using an iPhone or is it Android, all of you? That is strange.
Yeah, an iPhone.
Okay, so is anybody using an Android? Okay, that's another iOS.
And an iPad.
It could be an iOS thing. I don't know. Let's look into that after maybe. But it should show up. It's possible that it might show up in a different area if it's a different phone, but it should be fine. So just have a peek around maybe in a few other places and see. Possibly go into layers and look for it in layers and see. You've downloaded, but but it's for 1 week until being charged, so it may come up after the app is paid for. Well, normally it teases you, you know, when you go into a setting and it says, gives you the option of getting something, and then it says, well, look, you can have it if you pay, you know. So just have a gawk around in a few different parts, and I'll just make a note. And either I'll feed it back to Mary, or maybe the best thing to do is drop me an email if you're having trouble with a setting on it, and I'll send you back a solution. Hopefully I'll have it by then. Okay, so Sue, you've checked it's in layer, is it? Good stuff. Great, so I think that's the solution, thank you. So anybody that has iOS, like iPhone, iPad, go into layer instead, and you'll find it in layer. Okay. So it's okay, so there's a couple of variations it seems, but look, we're getting to the solution, you're getting it, so that's fine. So we'll keep moving. I'm then going to go to, I'm sorry, that's meant to, one moment, please. So we're going to, let's just say, it's not fair to have the Hannahs in the video now. I don't want to be doing that. So let's just say we have a person who's being interviewed and we want the text titles come up. That's a really big one for you if you're going to be featured in a video. In order to do that now, this is the titles that we're touching on. This is really, really important. So briefly, if you just bear with me, I'm briefly going to look to see if, yeah. Okay, so I'm just doing this because I'm in the picture and I don't want to be subjecting anybody else to a constant view on the camera. So let's just say we want to get a text title coming in for me. So imagine this is for your name and also your business name under that. So we again need to go with layers to get text at the bottom left. So to get that, we can come in and we can get text in here. We can go Geraghty, and we can have that coming up, and we stretch this out and we move it down, and you can have that text coming up. Now, after you do that, you might want another layer where you've got, let's just say owner, and that comes up again as another layer in underneath again. So you could have 20, 30 layers if you wanted to. It doesn't matter, but obviously it's not going to happen. Now, it would be nice if you had maybe this as a smaller bit of text. I'm really just kind of giving you my own design perspective here on this, but let's just say if we have my name comes up, and sometimes it's a nice touch if you have the name of the owner coming up after that, sorry, the title or the name of the business. So if you wanted to do that, you could push this forward a bit. So you want to delay this, okay? So you've got Aidan Geraghty comes up and then owner comes up. So we'll look at maybe having the color change first of all. So you tap on the actual text piece and you go to the color. We'll just go with red, big bright red for a moment. And you can then select a different color. And if you want, you can come down and maybe get a shadow. And then you can enable that shadow and then increase the shadow. And it just makes it stand out a bit more. And you might have like a white shadow. Now I'm just going a bit crazy here to show you the actual effect that you can have. Does not making a huge difference until you see it. You can see the shadow up there, a bit crazy looking. Okay, so it just raises up the text. Then you want, it's the same principle then, guys, like the in animation might be slide in right would be a good one in this case. And you might have that coming up, slide in right. And then you might have your other text up here. Sorry, we're going to place them in a position now in a moment. But you might have the text then for the owner come up just a tiny bit later. Sorry, you could slide up. Okay, so we've got that coming up. And then if you want, you can maybe have it fade out. And you'll see this on a lot of TV programs and that. And you need to make sure then that everything comes out at the same time at the end. So that takes a bit of time to get it right. So the fine tuning you can do yourselves after. So again, we've got the name might come in down here. Owner, text comes up down here. So then okay, look guys, you get the point. I'm not going to spend time perfecting it, but you get the point. So you can have the owner come up here like that. So press play. So it's a nice little effect that you can have. Now I want to show you something that would be a bit more impressive. And by the way, look, you can refine it. You can have an overall animation. You can have opacity, like a overlay, normal. There's lots of different things you can do there to play around it. You can also have a background on your text, or you can have a glow around the text, like this. You know, so you've got lots of really nice ways to make it look animated. Now, I would then go with a different option, which is, bear in mind now, so this is a different option, and you go in, not into layer, which is your text, but into effects, or overlay. I think it's overlay it's in. So overlay. So again, I'll just go back through it a bit slower. So you go in, you've got your picture lined up, maybe if it's you appearing, and then you've got the decision then where you want to put in your text title. So you go to layers, and if you want to go with something more fancy than the text, and you want to have something that maybe has already got an effect adjusted to it, then you can go to overlay, and you click on overlay, and then here you have a series of nice effects that are already in your library, but you can add more if you have the paid version. So just to show you, if you do have the paid version, you can go to get more, and you have three options. You have text, stickers, or animation. So you're kind of getting into the whole Instagram feel here with the animation, the stickers as well. But really, I came in here to show you nice text titles. So here's a nice one. Here is the premium one for a nice base, which has a nice info text. So let's just go with this one. You can see here that text comes up. So that's installed earlier. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to click on it, and then they have 4 versions. So a tiny little difference in each version. We can go with that one, and we can have it come up like that. So can you see the little effect that's already built into it? So we've got text comes up. Now there's a lot in that, and you really won't want all that unless you're putting up captions. So in this case, you want to be able to edit that text. So you can come down, you can go here, you can go, oops, sorry. You go to the little cog, you can see the little cog here. So you've got that, and then you can click on the cog, and then you can change the text. So you might want to just put in your name. So Aidan, Geraghty, and maybe in here you want to just put in Videotree. In my case, I'll just put in Videotree. Or in your case, you might have, you know, making a whatever product it is. So making a product, and then the subtext could be something to describe the product. So this is not just for titles, you know. But this is a nice little touch anyway for a name intro. So if you look at the placement of it, it's not in the right spot. So we'll bring it down here, and we'll have it come up here. So you play that, and I think that's probably a good time to finish that. And you press play, and then this is what you've got. So it's a nice little piece of text. It's animated, and it's very quick to do after you've got it done the first time. So go like this. And there's a nice little outro effect to it as well. So that's that. We're going down. Does anybody have any questions on that? I mean, I'm sorry, Katie, you were just talking about the mouse pointing. Just saw that there now, but yeah, I'll do that from now on. So we've got our title sorted, our intro sorted, and our outro is similar again as to what we have on the intro. From I suppose a business point of view, you know, you want people to maybe visit your website for more information. So this is more about the messaging that I'm teaching you here, but I can give you a tip on that and just have a look. So for example, again, we'll go to a nice little background. I'll show you how quick it can be done. So background here. Maybe you want to have your text. Visit videotree.ie. Okay. So it seems that the text is white, and we're just going to change that color. And you can have subtext as well. You can have whatever text you want, but you can have the little text come up at the end, and a nice little fade out would be nice. And you know where you can get that with your transitions. So, and again, you can have your in animation, your out animation, and you've got that, okay? Now, so I want to show you then a nice little, sorry, again, we're gonna go to, right, let's just assume we're finished our video. And we're going to go and export the video. Now, I want to show you a really important tip, is using Canva. I don't think many of you have used Canva. I think I asked the last day. And Canva is brilliant. It really, really, really adds so much value to your video. And I'm going to go into Canva now in a moment. And I'm going to show you how you can soup up the video, you know, after you export. But first of all, before I do that, I'm going to show you the final step in finishing your video. And that is to add in sorry, that is to export. Now, if you go to share, you see the share button over here. And when you click on share, you've got export. And it's quite straightforward. You see the settings up here. You've got 1080p. There's different settings, but really you don't need to mess with those at all, because what KineMaster does is it reads the quality that you shot the video on, and then it applies that as your export setting. So it knows that you shoot in 1080, so it tells you at the end, look, we're going to export at 1080. If you shoot in 4K, then it will give you the option to export in 4K, and you don't want to do that. We'll export right here. Takes a moment to export. So when we're waiting for that to export, now that really is the job done on the exporting. I want to show you on Canva. Has anybody, just to put a question out again, have you used Canva for video before? Have you ever brought in video into Canva to edit? Okay, you're gonna love this. It's one thing about editing in the app, but there's another great thing about not even needing to bring it into the app at sometimes. So that's exporting. There's not rocket science really. It exports and it goes straight into your library. I will now go into Canva. I'm in Canva already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to designs, right? So let's say all my designs. Now, what have I done for one of my videos? I'll show my big face on this here. So, you know how you've created a picture post in Canva, which is very, very easy to do. So you create like a little frame. Maybe it's like this here. So let's just assume you've got nothing here, you've got nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. All right, so it's just drag and drop. It's a square, and it's just drag and drop. So like that. Right. So you've created a square look and feel to it. So it's like an Instagram square. So we have a blank canvas we're starting with, and we pull in the video first of all. I'm going to take the video out. So many of you will have a picture made, and you'll have it. Sorry, I'm getting a question in here. What size should be in Canva? Good question. So you should use in my opinion, you're looking to publish videos to Instagram and Facebook. So create a square picture in Canva. So you can go into templates. So there's if you go into templates, you'll see a lot of square. You can see here this Instagram post. So for example, Instagram post. So it can be just a square one. You can find it in your templates. So for example, we'll pull it in here. So this can be your square. And generally with Canva, you just take out all the content, you know. And in this case, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here, but this is something I prepared earlier. So I had this video created in my editing app, and I uploaded the video. Was step one, to upload the video from my files. And you can do that very simply from, your desktop if you have a video. And then let's just say we get this one. So let's just say this has come up here, and you've got, it's just uploading. It's kind of a heavy file. Typically, I would create a template, and you have your Instagram Square. You're going to publish an Instagram Square video every time, the shape-wise. So you've got your Square set up. You've got your border maybe decided with a certain font, and the font gives you a nice brand identity. So you pull in the video, and still loading. But in the meantime, I'll just go to one that I've uploaded here, right? So this is an important point. So these videos that I've put up are 16:9. So we've just edited a video in 16:9. It's used, across all channels, still on YouTube, for example. So what's great is that you can take in a 16:9 video, and you can get a 16:9 video, and you can then bring it in here, and you can stretch it to fit in your template, your text template, and maybe adjust it here. Sorry, I think this is where I had it here. And then you bring to the back position, to the back. So you've got your video. So it's very simple. It's a drag and drop system. So I'm not here to teach you how to use Canva per se. You need to have an account. Canva is free for most elements. You come in, you create a square canvas in Elements, Photos, I think, and it's empty. So you need to get your graphics skills on to kind of create a nice little header with text and a background. Just mess around with it till you come up with something nice. And then what you can do is you have that space in the middle. That was just a background, a grayish background. And this was some text that I made. You come in here, you grab your text. So let's just make it, okay. So I'll quickly do it here. We've got a background. So here, you drag it in. There's your background. Take out your text if you don't want it. Okay, so then over to your text, you might want to get a nice header. And you've got, maybe coming soon. Okay. We want to put it up here. Like this. And it'd be nice to put like a border behind that, but we can do that later yourself. And then down here, you might want to put in something like visit the website, right? So you're putting in a call to action at the bottom in the text, which you can easily change every time. So visit www.videotree. Okay. and you can come down to, you can come up here. If you click on that, you can go up and edit your text and all of that. So that takes a bit of messing around, spend some time on it. Now we're ready to stick in the video, and you might want to put in this video, and you do not want it playing because it's very noisy. Probably will play now in a moment. So you go like this, so make sure you drag each side, and you have a lovely square video coming on. Maybe you want to add your logo in at the bottom, which is also a nice touch. It depends on your goal. My opinion would be that each video is specifically retexted for that goal on top in particular. And then at the bottom, you can always put in like in my view, it's like an outro. It's your text. It's really good for branding to always put up your text, or you can slip your logo in here. So if you look then at, let's say, other elements, lots of different elements you can put in, music, background, so loads of stuff, right? But my point here to show you is that it's beautiful, like it's really, really nice touch. And then to export that, you can download page 4 as a video. So you come into download, and you make sure that you select this as a video, not as a JPEG. So go to video. Once you've got video selected, you can go and select specifically page 4, and then done, and then download. So what you've really done there is you've completely added a lot of effect to your video. Now, I do always recommend that you edit in an app. If you did not have time to add in your intro and your outro or a title text within the app, this is a great solution as well, because you can pull the video in after you just chop up the video in KineMaster. So you bring it into Canva, and then you can add your titles and text that way. It's really good. So in terms of workflow, I would think that, look, you're trying to get on with business, you're busy. If you wanted to put up a video very quickly, then you can shoot, get your footage, store it on your phone in an album, open up KineMaster, pull in all that footage, chop it up into little bits, decide the length of the video, and make sure that everything you have is completely aligned in the way you want it. And then go to Canva, pull in the video into Canva, have your text, the top and the bottom, and then export as a video, and then post that. You're probably wondering, do I need to send this to my laptop to get that done? You don't, because you have a option of, you have the option of using Canva on your mobile. So if we look at Canva, so what have we got here? We've got Canva to maybe, here you've got a video here, okay? So I would advise you to go to the app on your desktop, Canva, set up an account, set up maybe a few little templates, and with your top and your bottom, and then that will save you messing around on your mobile trying to change the borders when really you just want to pull a video in from your KineMaster on your phone into this export done. So my opinion would be to set up a nice border in Canva on your desktop, and then come in and you can very, very easily get a video from your library then. So you come into Canva, we'll just repeat again. So you come into Canva where all your designs are. That will sync up with what you've done in your desktop. You want to go, okay, I want to replace that, and replace it. Done. And then you might just want to change this text. So it's very, very nice because you come up to the top right then, you see this here, and you can press export. Might take a couple of minutes to export a video, particularly that video is quite long. And that's really it on that. Is there any questions on the Canva part? Just shout there now if you have them. So what size should it be in Canva? Sorry, Sue, that was your question. So lovely. So we're going to move on to one more point. We're just going to touch on it. It's just really a tip I want to show you on subtitles. If you wanted to maybe do some subtitles, you can use an app called Capwing. Now, Capwing is good because it's maybe it's a nice little desktop app where you can pull in your video, and let's just say if you have a new project and you want to start with Studio, and then you click to upload a video. Let's see, you've got that one. You click to upload. Once it's uploaded, you then have the opportunity to then start adding text in to each part so that you want to get so for example, subtitles. So let's say on part 1, hang on. So you've got maybe this part here where you want to add in text. So okay, so that might want to come up here, and then you can select how long you want that to come up for. And then you go to the next scene, and you might have the next scene. I am the owner of Videotree. So I might be coming up and I'm talking away and I'm talking away, and then you decide, okay, that's from that second to that second. How do you define where? Well, then all you have to do is go to the actual second in the video where I'm saying I am the owner, and then match that text to it. It's a repetitive process. It does get very fast when you get used to it. You can auto-generate some, and then that will help you then just to refine the ones. And me with the tick accent from Offaly probably wouldn't be very accurate. So I'd say you might have to retype some of them. When you do that, you are happy that it's done and you want to adjust, or sorry, you want to publish, then you click on publish and it's ready to go. So just to give you a final idea of workflow, so you can have your video edit through KineMaster after you shoot. Now you can do all the fancy stuff in there and you can export from there, and that's done. Or you can go in and just chop it up, do a rough chop up, take it out, put it into Canva and publish it from there. Or you can say, I have an interview video, I really want to make a big job of this. Then you can go into KineMaster, you can chop it up, get it right. Don't worry about the intro, outro if you don't want to. Bring it into your Capwing, where we are now. Add your subtitles, export, then bring it into Canva, and then you can add all the nice fancy borders. Lots of options for you I think that's the main thing that I wanted to give you a learning from, is all the options that you can do, all ways that you can do it yourself, very easily manageable. Don't be intimidated by the amount that I've put out to you. It is very manageable. I mean, I just really bang up little clips from KineMaster really quickly now, and it makes life a lot easier. So it will work quickly for you. Don't get intimidated, and practice makes perfect. So I'll take any questions now.
And there's a question there, Aidan. Does KineMaster read AVI files?
I don't know, being honest. I think MP4 is what you want. I don't know where you would shoot API files. AVI, I don't know. I've never had that scenario.
Then is there any alternatives for free apps?
Yes, there is. I'm going to go back there now. So we go to any alternatives for free apps. Yes, there is some. There's I'll go to them now. This one here. So you've got you've got this one here where you've Adobe Premiere Clip. That's a nice one. Filmic is also another one for you. There's Lapsit is a really nice one for if you want to do a little time-lapse video, and you set up your camera and it just takes your little photos, and you can set it to how many you want to take. I think that's really useful for you if you're sitting down in your studio and if you're making a piece, then you can sit there, press record, and it's beautiful. You can really do a nice one. Pick Play Post is free, and that's a handy one. And then Power Director. But the Pick Play Post is handy. But yeah, there's loads of free ones coming out, so much, and all the time. So some of them are good, some of them are bad. So it's a matter of trial and testing for yourself.
And Aidan, Sue is just saying there that KineMaster won't let her export when she makes a video. Do you have to pay for it first? She's on the 7-day free trial.
No, you should be able to export to. You should be able to, because you can export and you can have the little KineMaster logo, and that's your punishment for not paying. But you should be able to export. You should be able to export to. So if you want to give us a shout after, I know we've been talking before, so if you want to give us a shout on that, and I'll have a chat with you on it.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions for now, Aidan. That's great. Thank you very much.
Great. I know there's a lot there to absorb, so hope I haven't intimidated you too much.
You're happy enough with us sending your email address in case anybody has any questions for you after?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, I can send out an email.
By the way, I have a workshop coming up on Wednesday on Instagram marketing. Myself and a co-host is my colleague. She looks after my Instagram and my other one, my Gifts of Ireland. So it's a really good marketing one. It's not just videos, but it's photos as well. And I run marketing for some businesses, and it's a really nice one on Wednesday. If you want to give me a shout later, I can give you a coupon for anybody that's attending these seminars, and it's a 20% off. So let me know if you're interested.
All right, great. Thanks for that, Aidan.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Right, thanks.